BigHMW.com, world headquarters at Bishop Park. This is the Atari Report, 7800 edition with Ray Jackson. Good evening, everybody. On this edition of the Atari Report, we take a look at the best ever rendition I've ever played on any Atari system of a legendary 1979 arcade staple. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Decrescenzo presents Galaxian for the Atari 7800 Pro System.
Yes, indeed, the man known as Pac-Man Plus on the AtariH.com forums, Bob Decrescenzo has yet another masterpiece on his hands, this time a true-to-the-arcade version of Galaxian for the Atari 7800 Pro System. Just take a look at those graphics. You wouldn't even think you're playing it on an Atari system, but you are. I mean, this is terrific. I mean, you wouldn't notice it until you actually see it. But I got to tell you, I already am raving about this one already. I mean, look at those graphics. They look fantastic, don't they? I mean, I played the 5200 version, the 2600 version, the 8-bit version, but this by far takes the cake. I mean, it plays just like the arcade because it looks like the arcade. I mean, it just does everything like the arcade. And believe me, that Maria chip that the 7800 has, which is the 7800 exclusive, definitely makes a difference in how a port looks. I gotta tell you, I mean, forget about playing the arcade version. Play this instead. You'll be wasting your quarters playing the arcade version just to get the graphics when you can play this. I gotta tell you, it's well done, and a terrific job done by Bob Decrescenzo, as he always does. It seems like everything he does turns to gold. The story behind this conversion for the 7800, it was actually formulated at the same time he was doing his work on Uniwar S for the Atari 7800 when he ported that 1980 classic to the Pro System in the first place. And I gotta tell you, he's done a wonderful job with this port. I mean, just spur of the moment, things like that. Look at that. Everything seems to be in place. The sound is arcade quality. Obviously, the graphics are arcade quality. A terrific job done by Bob Decrescenzo. You already know how to play Galaxian if you ever played any version of Galaxian, whether it be at home or in the arcade. But just look at this. I mean, you know, you wouldn't even think you're playing it on a home video game system, but you are, basically. I mean, forget the 2600 version, or for even that matter, the 5200 or 8-bit versions altogether. This is the version you've got to play, and the version you've got to see as well. I mean, well done at that too. I mean, graphically correct, sound is correct. It makes a huge difference when you've got that Maria chip as opposed to the Antic chip like the 8-bit computers do. But this is well done, I gotta tell you. I mean, fantastic game. You just can't do it any better than this. They don't come any better than this. I mean, just a wonderful game. True to the original. I mean, it's right there.
Well, guys, what do you think? You know, I usually give 1 or 2 thumbs up, but 2 thumbs up is not even good enough for this version of Galaxian. I mean, by far, this is the best ever version of Galaxian I have played on any Atari system, including the 2600, 5200, and 8-bit editions. Believe me, this by far takes the cake. Top-notch, prime time, big time. The arcade quality graphics are there because she uses the same arcade quality graphics as she does in the arcade. And I gotta tell you, what a difference having the Maria chip in there in the 7800 Pro system as opposed to having the Antic chip, which is in the 8-bit and 5200 versions. By far, it makes the most out of everything. And I gotta tell you, Bob Decrescenzo has a terrific thing going. And this is a brand new port that he did, especially after the hit of Uniwars that happened earlier on this year. I gotta tell you, 2 thumbs up is not good enough for this particular game. How about 3 or 4? Hey, let's shoot the limit, shall we? Let's shoot it, shall we? I gotta tell you, 2 thumbs up is not good enough. 3 or 4 especially would be good. But I gotta tell you, Bob Decrescenzo has done a fantastic job. And he always does a fantastic job on anything he programs for the 7800. Well, that's game over for this edition of the Atari Report. So for all of us here at BigHMW.com, world headquarters, I'm Ray Jackson, wishing you good gaming and good night.